I'm Hannah Gerlander.
And I'm Nora Fried.
And you're listening to
New Yorker of the Week.
That was beautiful. Remember yesterday when we were being kooky and thinking about starting a band?
I'm still thinking about it.
What were we singing in the halls?
I don't know. Something beautiful.
It was really, really... Oh, party for you.
Party for you. Party
for you. I just threw this party for you.
Today's a big day. I really feel passionately about our guest.
I do now too.
And I feel like our listeners are gonna love our guests in a way that it's because it's gonna help them.
I feel like a little changed after chatting with her because she kind of like myth busted some astrology things for me.
Totally.
I was kind of ready for her, I don't mean this in slander, but like to be a little bit of like a TikTok astrologer. And she was, and no offense to them. Okay. I'm not trying to be offensive to them and their passions online, but she was so like grounded and realistic and honest and like straightforward with what she knew, which I feel like in the astrology conversation gets missed a lot.
Yeah.
So it kind of made me feel like I wish I was at that moon workshop with you.
She's having another one.
When?
So just so you guys know, today we had one of my favorite astrologists on the pod. Her name's Anna Hall. I met her at a new moon workshop.
New moon.
And it was the new moon in Aries. So I was like, I got to get over there.
Your moon.
Yeah.
When will the moon be in Cancer for me?
We should have asked. I have no idea. But we can ask ChatGPT.
Maybe I'll text her like, thank you so much. No, I'll text. I'll feel like we'll use her for that.
Okay. I'm obsessed with ChatGPT.
We literally had someone on who knows the answer. Yeah. And we were like, we'll just use ChatGPT.
No, Anna had such a beautiful vibe in the workshop that made me feel like I was on a cloud. And she was also really correct about my horoscope. And I was like, we need to get her on the pod because she did
have that energy even in the interview.
Yeah, like she knows what she's talking about. And she's so articulate.
I love when we have people on who are so like calm and gentle because it's just like a reminder to me of what it's like to speak to me instead, you know? What? Like, I just don't, like, you know, when we had Jess on.
Oh, yeah.
She was just so chill.
Right.
And it's like, I've never been that chill, you know? And it's like, it's aspirational.
Yeah.
Like, I'm happy with whatever good things people take away from speaking with me, you know? I did get some feedback on the call on what people say during our interview for someone who's double water in Aries. Described it as boiling water.
Oh yeah,
that was.
you'll hear in the interview. We got some feedback on Hannah's horoscope.
Boiling water though is spot on.
It is really spot on.
I'm so boiling
She's
water
hot
because I'm like I don't like identify with it being an Aries.
Yeah, I'm like through and through.
Whoa! I could have said any word.
You could have said any word, and you said through and through. Oh man,
we're both a little sleepy today.
We had a long night.
We really did.
We had a long night,
and everything was on track for us to get like 12 hours if everything went right.
We had a classic NYC day. I was literally sitting on a stoop talking to my neighbor. All of a sudden, I see Hannah just on the street. She comes up. She's like, "Hey guys." I'm like, "Hey." We start talking.
Next thing you know, we're back to your house. You make me dinner.
Then I'm like, "Do you want to come over for stir fry?" And she's like, "Yeah." And so,
but I was like kind of strict about it. I was like, "But you have to cook quick. I have to leave in like
boiling water." She was you were boiling some water, metaphorically. You were like, "Okay, yeah, I can come over for stir fry," because I was just going to eat alone and then like kill myself on a Friday night. And then
so instead we did this.
Instead we did this, and then you were like, well, are you going to walk me home? And I was like, I mean,
which is so crazy because I've never, ever, ever asked Nora to do that before. And then I said it to her as if it was like what she always does.
The craziest thing was that, remember the laundry? Remember that was why I was going to leave the house because I had my laundry going the whole time?
Yes.
So I came home, I got into bed, everything, and my laundry was still at the laundromat. So I had to run out.
Oh my God, that's a terrible feeling. That's really shitty.
So I had to run out, get my laundry at like 10 p.m., lug it upstairs.
We had to have some ice cream.
Yeah, I had some ice cream.
We watched reality TV at both of our homes in one day. Watched TV at your house and then went to my house, watched TV.
It just like was one of those classic NYC nights where I thought I literally was just going to sit at home and, you know, just cry a little bit. And then the next thing I know, I'm like eating shrimp with you instead.
It's also like one of those moments that's like, you know, in TV shows when like two people just run into each other and then like are like, let's get a bite. You're like, yeah, that is so unrealistic. But then it's like, no, it's not for us.
Not for us. Not for us. And my neighbor, and then my other neighbor came and was like, "Hey guys," like we were just holding down the stoop.
And he said he's seen me before going into the building.
Yeah, he's really great.
I don't know if I met him or if he just saw me going in.
He takes care of Margot and he's really nice.
That's really sweet.
But anyways, so you might think, you guys, why are you so tired? That sounds like such an easy night. No.
The boiling water overflowed.
Yeah, and I had an insomniac flare up all night, waking up. I think I'm at this point where like I can't even. Going to sleep is like a riddle. It's like a folk tale. Like it's like you go to sleep, Ma. I don't know what you're saying. I don't know. I just feel like sleeping for me is a joke. It's a joke.
It's not happening for you.
Netflix is a joke. Well, how about this? Sleeping is a joke. Okay. It's like everyone else gets to go to sleep, not me.
Not you.
Welcome to hell in your bed.
Are you not taking your sleeping pills anymore?
Yep. I think I'm just immune to them now.
Oh, that's
so sucks. It's like, yeah, it sucks. It's the worst.
What do? You just toss turn?
Yeah, I'm tossing around. I'm walking up and down. I'm turning on the air conditioner. I'm turning off the air conditioner. I'm going to the bathroom. I'm not going to the bathroom. You know, it's just like it's all.
I try when I can't sleep. I really have like a strict like, don't you dare get out of bed rule. Because then it's over. It's over for me once I've gotten up.
Well, part of me, I was talking to my cousin about this, and he was like, Nora, it's really normal for people to like wake up at 2 a.m. and then just like in our system, if that's like your time that you are most productive, maybe you work then and then you go back to sleep and then you work, like you sleep in shifts. That's like a lot of like in old medieval times. That's what people used to do. They would like, you're most productive at like 3 a.m. or something. So they would like go to bed at like 6 and like wake up like at like 1 a.m. and then go do some work and then they'd go back to sleep at 5 or something like that. And he was like, maybe that you should do that. And I was like, I feel like my job would not let me do that.
That's like also like
I have to like call people.
I'm sorry, that's like so insane. Like even if that is how you work, we'll have to undo that. You know what I mean? Like that's insane. Like so now you need to go to bed early because when you wake up at 2, you're gonna stay up. You're gonna get things going. You're gonna get the day. You're gonna get to work.
Like let's get it going.
Be doing your sales.
Yeah, my sales.
And then at like 5, when the other people start waking up, Nora's off the clock.
I'm off.
Don't contact. I just feel like that even if that is true, it would be easier for your life to undo that than it would be to start doing that. I did once though, and this lady was a little kooky, but she was a psychic on the side of the road. And
what do you mean on the side of the road?
It was in Connecticut. Like she was really on the side of the road.
In Connecticut, they're on the side of the road.
It wasn't like on the street corner in New York.
They're literally on the side of the road. Yeah.
And this is years ago, but I was having an issue where I was waking up at 3 a.m. feeling like wide awake when I woke up. And then it was like hours trying to get back to sleep. And she said that like that's like a calling from a higher power. Like you have something special that like the waking hours, like something's calling to you during the night because it wants your attention.
Okay, well my phone's off the hook. Like nonstop calling. It's like a fucking call center in here from the higher power.
Actually, I don't think you should get up and work. I think you should start speaking to what's going on.
To my higher power?
Yeah, to whoever's...
I feel like I'm talking way too much to my higher power.
To whoever's... Someone's waking you up. And you have to talk to them.
Please, no. Hannah, please don't do that to me. Please don't say someone's waking me up. I'm never going to sleep again.
Not scary.
I'm really sensitive to scary things.
It's not scary.
I live alone.
It's the higher power.
No, I don't care who it is. Scary. I don't want them waking me up.
You have to talk to them.
I hate this now. Now I'm going to be like some creepy ghost is waking me up.
No. It's not a ghost. What if it's like,
you can't name anyone good that's waking me up.
Well, because I forgot.
No one good in my life that'd be waking me up as a ghost.
Well, I'm trying to, and it's not a ghost. It's your calling.
You know what is waking me up?
I'm
and
so
it's my
tired. Like I can't be soliciting any information.
I'm gonna lean on that actually.
Me telling you like you have to.
You're crazy.
I just said that what was it? Your cousin Hank's idea? I literally said I was like, that's.
No, it wasn't Hank, but yeah.
Who was it?
It was another one of my cousins. I have like 75 cousins.
I just told you that his idea. I was like, no, that's not happening.
It's not his idea. It's like a study. In
what he said.
Okay,
because this isn't my idea.
He's passing on the messenger from the higher power, if anything. And you know what's waking me up? And it goes into my New York moment of the week.
What?
A little beeping sound.
Here we go. Nora's been actually really busy.
I have had a very busy week, and I'll tell you why.
Wait, did you figure it out?
No, not yet. I'm shocked you can't hear it right now. Well, it's probably because we have headphones on. Will you stick around for like just 5 minutes after just to hear it?
I was here for a while yesterday.
No, but did you just hear it? No, that was a bird.
That's a bird.
We'll listen to it after. Okay. For the last, I'd say it's become now a month. It's been a month. There's a little beeping outside my window. It's not constant. It's like a smoke detector, like out of battery, right? So I'm friends with everyone in my building, brag, and we have a group chat, and I say to everyone, like, you guys hear this beeping? And most of the people say no. But Matt, my neighbor who's in apartment 2, which is a couple doors down, he says, oh yeah, I hear it.
Wait, other people aren't hearing it?
No, because they're not at the back of the building. And I'm only friends with 2 people that have.
Oh, okay. Sorry. For a second, I was like,
no,
maybe you and Matt are going
to. No. My friend Kayla also says she hears it.
Okay. This is.
I don't know about apartment 6 because we don't talk. Nothing. And then, but 4 and 2 both are hearing it. And they're like, yeah, it sucks. Like, we can't figure it out. So I emailed my landlord. He's like, all right, I'm going to send the super over, yada, yada. He's bringing someone in he's like, Nora, it's not in the building. Like, it's somewhere outside, so we can't do anything about it. And I'm like, what? And so then I'm listening for it, and I can't really hear it. So this week I took action. I was like, enough is enough. It's been too much. Because it's just like it's like, it's getting to that time in the spring where it's really nice to have your windows open, and like, yes, I can turn on, I have a little like air humidifier thing that I can put on, or air cleanser, or whatever it is that puts on some white noise. But I really like the sounds of like the city and the birds and stuff. And it's like, I don't want to have white noise all day.
Right.
And it's also like, when is this going to end? Like, this has been like 4 weeks. Like, can't it just go out of battery?
Yeah. So
I said, enough is enough. And I printed out signs saying, would you like to solve a mystery?
And that's a good tagline.
I thought it would catch people's eyes.
It'll catch people's eyes. They'll maybe think it's like a game, but then they'll read more.
Yeah.
And if it applies to them, they're in. And if it doesn't, they move on.
It's like, if you're not with me, you can
keep it moving.
So the sign says, the sign that I made, let's see if I have it here. Anyways, I'll just paraphrase it. It's really not, we don't have to get too far into it, but basically this
we're pretty far into it.
Basically, the sign just says, hey, there's been a beeping noise. Who the hell has this like fucking beeper on? Please like do something about it. It says it in a nice way.
Yeah.
And beeping sound is in all bold.
Yeah.
And so I went around for the last couple days. Every time I had a lunch break, I left my house and I would hang up the signs around the neighborhood. I've been putting it around all of the buildings that surround my area. And I've been duct taping them to people's homes, which I have no idea if that's legal or not. Okay.
Not okay.
But sometimes you can't find a place to like stick it into their like mailbox or something. So I've been having to like
duct tape it to their window.
Yeah, no, like literally that's what I did. So
sorry, couldn't find your mailbox.
And then of course in this process, I've had some people come out and be like, what are you doing? And it's like, what do you think I'm doing? Okay, there's a beeping sign.
It's a good question.
You know? It's like,
it's a pretty good, what are you doing?
And I'm just like, look, I know this is a little crazy. I'm your neighbor. There's been this beeping sound. So someone says, oh, I hear it all the time. It's the worst. It's a pigeon. It's a pigeon detector though.
Which I didn't even know existed until you told me about it.
Me neither. And it's like pigeon detector. There's pigeons everywhere. You don't need a detector.
We got
them. And so I said to one of my neighbors, I was like, wait, it's a pigeon detector? Does that mean someone's putting batteries in it? Does that mean that it's never going to stop? He's like, yeah. You just kind of have to get used to it.
That's bad news.
Then another woman comes out of her house and she's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm just passing out the sign. Like, you know, if you hear this beeping noise, like, can you turn it off? Whatever. And she's like, life is so precious, Nora. You just have to.
She knew your name.
No.
That's amazing.
She's like, life is so precious. Just lean into it. The noise. And I'm like, no, life is so precious. That's why we have to turn this off.
And like I said to you, like when you told me about this lady yesterday, it's like you're on the street hanging up signs. Like you're not someone who's about to learn the lesson of like life is precious. I need to let it go. Like you're finding
life is precious,
and I can't live with this beeping.
I can't.
But it's kind of like she needed to like meet you where you were at. She was trying to take you to a new playing field. And it's like, no, Nora is right now hanging up flyers on everyone's doors, spreading the word, trying to find a beeping sound. Like now you just need to be with her, but like don't be against her.
Yeah, just please don't be my enemy.
Please don't be my enemy.
I understand this is crazy. I understand whatever, but like that's my New York moment. That's what I'm holding on to.
Search what a pigeon detector beep sounds like on YouTube, because if it's similar, then maybe you could narrow it down to that. But like, what if it's really different and then you know it's not the pigeon detector?
If it is a pigeon detector, I'm going to freak out because that means someone's putting power into it. As you can see, I'm trying to type it into my computer here.
Kind of crazy.
What does a pigeon detector? A pigeon detector can refer to different things. Generally it's a device or system used to detect the presence or location of pigeons. What does it sound like? Okay. All right.
Is this it?
Hold on one second. Sorry. Sorry, it's a commercial.
Imagine if you're like, that's the sound.
That's the sound. Okay. Why does everyone... Can I say something?
Yeah.
Everyone on YouTube...
on our podcast.
Every YouTube that I look up, that I'm just trying to figure out like how to use my computer or something, the person has the most insane accent.
The most insane
It's always like an Australian guy that's like, he's like, hello, like, welcome to my podcast about my tutorial about how to open up a new folder on your website.
And it's also like,
it's like, I can't hear you.
Information they're giving you will take a minute, but for some reason they've managed to make a 20-minute video.
Yes.
And it's like, wait, can someone fucking tell me where the information is? I do not want to meet you. I'm not going to subscribe to your channel. I don't want to hear how you got into pigeon detecting. Like, please just show me the sound. Give it to me. Here's the boiling water again.
It's
all cooked
This
up.
is the pigeon detector.
I might get a tattoo of boiling water now.
You should.
I really identify with it. Is that it?
No, this isn't it at all.
Ruled it out. Go to that guy.
No.
Send him this episode.
This isn't it.
Because that'd be fine. That just sounds like nature.
Yeah, this would be amazing. I wish it was a pigeon detector.
It's like a beep, beep. Oh, is it sometimes that?
No.
Okay.
No, this isn't it.
Guys, don't even start to think this is
Yeah,
it.
this is a big moment. It's not a pigeon detector, which means that... What?
Nora, like, I am like...
Okay, do you want me to do another New York moment of the week, or do you want to tell yours? Because I know yours is a little scary, but I have two.
Tell us.
Okay.
What time is it?
We have 10 more minutes.
Okay.
Ready for my next one?
Yes.
I'm on the subway. I have my
always
hair always on
the
subway. She's riding around town. I'm on the subway. I have my hair up in a bun. This guy looks over at me and he takes his headphones off and he's like, and he waves to me and I'm like, what? And I take my headphones off and he's like, I like your hair. And he has the same bun. We both just start cracking up.
I like your hair.
He's like this. He's like, he has like a giant bun on his head.
And so do you.
He's like, I love your hair. And I was like, thanks, you too.
Him.
And then we were both just like laughing.
That's an amazing New York moment. That's really special.
It was just like such a cute moment. He's like, I like your hair.
I'm gonna start doing that when I see a white woman with a bob.
You should.
Brunette only.
Okay.
I still have to decide.
You can also say it to anyone.
Because we have to be twins. I like your hair.
This person and I were not twins.
I'm still debating. Like, if I'm gonna keep it short, I need to go in for an inch off soon.
Oh, go to my place. It's cheap. It's around the corner.
It's like, do I want to keep
Salon 718.
Do I want to keep it short?
Yeah.
I feel like Claire said that if I am going to keep it short, I should do it now, because like if once I grow my hair out again, it's gonna be harder to cut it all off again. Like that's gonna be more drastic. She's like, you have the short hair and it looks good, so just get a trim, like keep it short a little longer.
Okay. Yeah, you should do that.
But what's hard for me is I really love clipping up my hair and putting it in a ponytail, and it's really hard for me that like some of the hair doesn't fit in because it's so short. It's like falling out of the clip and falling out of the ponytail.
Well, that's why God made butterfly clips.
What? I'm using one. It's not working.
No,
I actually might need the wax stick back. Have you been using it?
I used it once.
Oh, just once? Okay,
Yeah.
so you're not attached to it?
I'm not. And I want to get gel. I decided.
Because hair gel.
Yeah, I want to get hair
Okay,
gel.
great.
So, see, take it. Take it. Just take it.
Because it's like these pieces are shorter than the rest of my hair. Mm-hmm. So when I clip it up, I'm dealing with them. Like in my circle, in my face.
You know what we should do as a poll for this episode? What's more interesting? My beeping noise? Are you pulling back your little flyaways?
This week
yours might be better actually, because I feel like it's more relatable. Mine's like, oh, this woman's schizophrenic.
But they might like that about you. They might like that about you.
There maybe another fellow schizo is like, oh, yeah.
Maybe someone else is putting up signs all over Queens, and he's going to reach out to you. And
Queens.
I'm just thinking about another place. Wait, it's really. My phone keeps lighting up, but I changed my background to like this quote I love. But like that's how dark the night was for me, Nora. I had a rough night last night, and you could tell because my background of my phone is now a quote.
What's the quote?
It's a long.
That's kind of your note. Is that near?
It's a long.
Oh my God, Hannah!
It's pretty dark.
What's the quote? Let's read it.
It's more of a mantra, of course.
Of course.
Your first workout will be bad. Your first podcast will be bad. Your first video will be bad. Your first anything will be bad. But you can't make your 100th without making your first. So put aside your ego and start. That's for me.
Really strange mantra to come out of what happened last night. I have no idea how to read into that. We're gonna have to have a little.
Well, I feel like I'm living in a world of I'm doing the same things over and over again, and I'm getting the same results, and the result is I'm unhappy. Career-wise as well, stand up. Like, don't I sing the same song about mics and shows and bookings, and then do I do anything different? You know,
but we're changing the game. We're doing the show.
No. I know, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
I feel like I have the same complaints, and I don't do anything. Because I'm so nervous about things not going well, and then me being more upset.
Right.
So then I don't do anything. So I was upset last night. I'll tell you.
Still confused about the parallel here.
This is the big parallel. I didn't want me and Wolf are fine, but we're in a fight right now, and I did not want him to be my background on my phone, and he's been the only background ever on my phone. But at one point, at a low point, I made this quote my phone background.
Okay.
And so today I was like, you know what? Let's get that going again.
Yeah, let's get it popping.
let's get this long. But look, it looks like I have lots of text, but I just have it's
just a quote. Your first podcast is going to be bad.
Ours was
your first day. Your first day of the week, it's going to be bad.
That's not a quote. It's like, get over it, tighten up. It's huge, tighten up.
Or lighten up.
I don't think I'll ever lighten up, and I think I need to get rid of that. I wasn't built to lighten up. I was built tight.
What's your New York moment of the week? Is that it? The quote?
I mean, it could be. I mean, I feel like I'm trying to think my New York moment of the week. Oh, this has been a crazy week. This week, for any Orange Theory heads, is Dry Tried Orange Theory. And for any Inside Baseball, Orange Theory heads, we're having a big, what am I saying? We're having
Inside Baseball? What's going on?
We're having a big staff change at Orange Theory.
Oh.
Yeah, like this week is like there's new people and there's trainings and there's
I
dry
thought you guys
tries.
were like building a baseball team and didn't tell me
No,
about it or something.
Inside Baseball, like some of the like the secrets behind
Is
the
that
scene.
a thing? Okay.
You've never heard that before?
I'm really bad at expressions.
Okay.
That's why puns really get me going.
Okay. Okay. It's like a really different. No, I'm just this week I only get one day off, and Wolf was away for part of it, so like stinky duty, but thank you so much, by the way, for like today and the other day.
I feel bad about today. We kind of did like we were like edging on a hang.
If I'm being honest, it just made me feel better that like somebody saw him. Like this is a really long time for him to be alone.
Yeah.
And I just like when Wolf's flight got moved, we just like no one planned anything, so it was just like his flight got moved and like I can't change my shift, and like Noah and Nora both did their dog duties, like we're out of luck, like I'll just have to rush home right afterwards, whatever. But I hate when he's alone because
we need to make you, and maybe it doesn't have to happen today, but let's make you a WAG account.
I know that you say this to me all the time, but like I really don't think I would use WAG
really
with where we are with Stinky, like especially walking him. Like I would want to just find a dog walker, a person. I wouldn't want to like randomly, sure, we'll pay you, but we'll have to train you in the leash and everything. But the like Stinky, like walking him and calming him down and doing his little rules and all this stuff, like I just feel like I would never be comfortable just like, oh, I need a dog walk, can somebody get here? Like I would want to know it's the same person over and over again.
My parents hired their best friend when I was growing up in DC to be their dog walker. So I can history might repeat itself.
Do you guys think this is a good episode?
It's actually really good because our guest really is saving it, honestly.
Wait, this is like the second time where we've at the end of our thing. At the end of Christie's too, we were like, hopefully our interview saves what we did up top.
Yeah.
But that Christy intro was hysterical.
We were watching.
We don't always know we're being funny when we're doing it.
Sorry, my ears itchy.
Get it.
All right. On that note,
Durham animal.
There's a giant adoption event going on outside of Petco right now. By the way.
What? Like I'm going to walk by it?
Yeah, you're going to walk by it and it is popping. I mean, I don't know if it's still happening.
Wait, do you think it's through Waldo's?
I don't know. It's called, no, it's through Badass Dog.
I got to connect with them.
What?
I got to connect with them.
Do you? What are you going to do?
My relationship is falling apart, but I'll get another dog. That's so me.
Your relationship is not falling apart. Everything is ebbs and flows.
Everything. Well, I'm ready to flow. I want the ebbs out.
I think everyone wants a little ebb out.
I want all the ebbs out. But it's hard because I would say I'm built on ebbs.
Okay.
Don't you think?
No, I think no, Hannah, you bring so much love and light into the world. You need to just let things let it ride.
I almost said something crazy.
Okay.
I'll tell you offline.
Okay. Well, you guys,
you're gonna
enjoy I'll enjoy the astrologer. She's so amazing.
She is.
She has this way of talking that makes you, I mean, I said it in the interview. It was like, whenever I'm with my doctor, I'm like, please just 5 more minutes. Mm-hmm. And they're like, no, Nora, I need the next patient.
But they're just calm and they're informed and they're putting you at ease and you just want to stay there and learn about yourself. And like, it's nice.
It must be so crazy because she mentions, well, you'll hear it, you guys, spoilers. But she mentioned, she mentions that she has a partner, and I can't imagine having a partner and being an astrologer. I'd be like so up in their chart.
Me too.
She seems very like she has good boundaries about it.
I have no boundaries.
Okay. On that note, we're gonna cut this off and
enjoy the interview, you guys.
Enjoy everything in life.
That's beautiful.
Enjoy. What's the quote? Might be your first podcast. It might be your last. But you know what?
Your first. Imagine making this your phone background.
It's a little intense.
I guess so.
That's what we are. We're intense ladies.
Maybe I'll just find a picture of Stinky.
Yeah.
Solo shot.
Shocked you haven't brought me up. as the background.
Oh, really?
All right.
One of yours?
Huh?
Have I ever been yours?
No, shares my background.
Okay.
Okay. Love you guys. I love you, Hannah. Enjoy the interview. Pop, pop, pop. Okay. Hi. Oh my God. We are so excited because we have an amazing guest on today.
This is another New Yorker who like Nora met and was like, she's New Yorker of the week. She has to be on the podcast, which has been like the theme of our guests, honestly.
Yeah. I went to our guest. First of all, okay. Our guest is Anna Hall. She's amazing. She's an NYC astrologer and yoga teacher. She offers practices inspired by cosmic seasons. She does astrology readings, weekly classes, and private events. I went to one of her events, which was a new moon workshop for the Aries new moon.
And you wanted me to come to that, and I feel silly I didn't.
Yeah, you should feel really bad about that. It was so good. Anna looked over at me and was like, relationships. Do you remember that, Anna?
I do, yeah.
And I was like, whoa. And then I started dating that guy, like shortly after.
That was crazy. A lot of what happened next for Nora romantically, like, all tied into everything you said.
That
feels a little psychic. That feels like past astrology.
I mean, she kind of, Anna, not to like add to your credits, but maybe psychic too.
Mm-hmm.
I had someone say that to me yesterday. I did a bachelorette party in Chelsea, and one of the girls was like, "Are you a psychic? Because I can tell who psychics are." She's like, "I get tingly," and I was like, "Okay, so you're a psychic." But no, I don't really consider myself to be a psychic, but the longer I do this work, the more things kind of just like, the less I try to imprint and the more like kind of downloads for me, a little psychic like. So maybe gently, but I don't consider myself really to be.
So like when you said to Nora, like relationships, you just like got a vibe from her that something was going on?
She was reading my chart.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Yeah.
Wait, sorry.
But also,
I thought you like walked in the room and she was like relationships, and I was like, oh my God, I need to meet her.
That is kind of how I
still need
describe
to
it.
Yeah, the way you describe it, Nora, gives me like way more power, but it was your chart. I'm just the conduit.
Gotcha.
She's more than that. She really is. But I really feel like the way you said it to me, Anna, it just, you were
It felt psychic.
Anyways, Anna does really cool workshops, and I met her at this new moon workshop, and she does this really cool, like she gets everyone in a circle and she reads everyone's charts. And then it's a bunch of like NYC yogis just like hanging out in a room. And then we did some like restorative poses, which were wonderful. And then you read our birth charts based on like where we were born, what time, et cetera, et cetera. And mine was just like really accurate. And I could tell it was like really getting to people. And I was like, wow, this could be really cool to have her on the pod and just tell her what the hell is going on right now. Like, because
a lot's going on.
There are a couple things going on, right?
Isn't there something going? Well, there's stuff going on, but isn't there like stuff going on? I'm pointing at the stars now. Like for the first time in years, weren't you telling me?
I was telling you. I was
it's
trying
only Nora.
to.
No one else really talks about astrology.
I was butchering your lecture in a way that was. I was like, something's happening, Hannah. Anyways, Anna, what's going on?
Yeah.
What's going on?
There's a lot. There's so much going on. I was just like finishing up writing a horoscope before we hopped on here. And I think like the spring of this year, I think I said this in the workshop, Nora, that like astrologers were waiting for March 2025. They were like, this is the moment where everything's changing. And we've just like on a high level had a lot of outer planets shifting into new signs. It's kind of revolutionary because they take so long to move, and so these shifts that outer planets make, like Uranus was shifting, Pluto recently shifted into Aquarius, which is a long game, Saturn is moving next month into Aries. All of this, they all kind of represent different things, but when they move, especially because they're moving into like air and fire signs, this is more like yang energy, more activating energy. It's a little bit feeling initially, because we're in these periods for so long, chaotic. Like it feels like, whoa, there's like so much, the dust is kind of getting kicked up and we're feeling it. And we're all feeling it because they're outer planets, so they deal with the collective, right? It's not just like in my life. We feel them personally, like in our own lives anyway. But it's more of like, this is something we're going through as a collective, as a society, with bigger changes happening on that level. And it's like we're in this kind of pocket of time where there's multiple happening very close together, which doesn't often happen. And so that's why it's crazy. It's like the beginning of a new chapter in a lot of different ways. And they're kind of overlapping in a way that is like, okay, a little overwhelming.
Wasn't there that thing that you said, or maybe it was on my pattern app, that said like this was the first time the stars had been this way since like the Civil War?
Yes. What is that one? That people love to quote that one.
It was like Venus in Aries or something.
No, it was Pluto in Aquarius, I believe.
Okay.
That shift, that's like kind of Pluto hasn't been in Aquarius since like the French Revolution, and like there's this kind of like, we're returning to that era, of not returning to that era, but there's like themes of that we use astrology as like patterns, right? We can see what was happening during this time, what we're like in society, what was going on. Oh, this was happening within the government, and then this is like the consequence of that, and then we can see it now. How might that be mirrored now? What can we kind of energetically forecast? We don't obviously can't predict what's going to happen, but we can use like our knowledge of this sign, our knowledge of the planet, to kind of maybe predict energies that might be happening so that we can better prepare ourselves. I think that's like what I like to use astrology for. And a lot of the astrologers I work with and study under really think of it more as like a weather forecast of just like, what's the vibe? What do I need to prepare? Not what's exactly going to happen, but how can I best prepare myself for what's coming?
And so you said the astrologers that like you study under, because I was going to ask like, where do you learn all this? Like, when did you start getting into it? But then like, if this is something someone wants to do for a career, like I feel like people don't know how like they become an astrologer.
Like,
I have no idea.
What pulled you into this world?
Yeah. I've always really like kind of just since I was younger, loved my horoscope. I'm a Leo. I was like, yes, I love being a Leo. And I had this like astrology book in college, and I was like drawing everyone's charts. I still have some of them, and they're like really crazy, and I didn't know at all what I was doing, but there was something that I was really drawn to, and like being able to puzzle piece things together and realize that astrology is more than just our sun sign, that it's like, there's all these different planets and these different aspects that really create such a nuanced picture of people. And so I was really passionate about that. During the pandemic, I really started deep diving into astrology. I had just like finished a really intense job that was 70 hours a week online. And I was like still kind of spinning out, needing to like put my energy into something. So I started going deeper into astrology. I first started studying with this woman named Deborah Silverman. She's just very, very well known for having this like kind of big astrology school. So I started my like introductory like trainings with her, and then I kind of went off on my own and studied a lot of podcasts and books and lectures. I kind of just then with my studies like pieced it all together, because astrology is like, I think that's what people really struggle with, is like, because there's so many different techniques that it's overwhelming. Like, where do I even start?
Yeah.
There's like, if people are interested in studying astrology, there's a place called Astrology University. Ooh, and it's really cute. I think they actually have like maybe a 4-year degree even, but there's like, all of their courses can be just like taken individually. I recommend something like that for people to kind of like get a base knowledge and then build your practice based on what you're most interested in. Because there are astrologers who really focus on prediction and timing and forecasting events. There are people who focus on like love and like compatibility and synastry and composite charts and all of this. So you can kind of choose what you want to specialize in without feeling like you need to learn everything. And that's kind of like where I eventually found myself.
Wow.
That's amazing. That's like crazy. That's so much, like, I don't even, like, the more you know, like, I didn't even know there was like astrology university. Like, I thought, because don't you feel like kind of like a lot of people say they're an astrologer, like an astrologist?
I have people who are like, I ask when I work with clients, I ask if they've ever had their chart read before, and they're like, yeah, my sister, she read my chart, and I'm like, okay, maybe not. Like, okay.
Yeah.
We'll get
But
50
I think like we're in this time where everyone does kind of feel like they can call themselves an astrologer. And it just really depends, I guess, on where they have that. Because the accreditation that comes with astrology is really kind of open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are there, okay, this is kind of like shifting things more to New York specific. Are there particular astrological transits coming up that New Yorkers should be excited or cautious about? Sorry, big
Yeah,
pivot.
big pivot. I don't know about New Yorkers specifically because these are like transits that we will all go through.
Yeah.
I think like I've been really thinking about this Saturn moving into Aries coming up next month is like kind of our next big one happening in May. And to me, that one's to be really like aware of because Saturn has been in Pisces for the last few years and we've kind of like gotten comfortable with that energy. And Saturn moving into Aries is really activating and going to feel maybe this like restless energy or this like need to do something, which like New Yorkers tend to really already be in that area.
Oh God,
And
I was just going to say that might be a lot.
this transit to me, I always like kind of think of being wary of like burnout. So this is like something I think is going to be really exciting for people who are feeling a little stuck in like, oh God, my job, or like I want to do this thing, but I just can't like get out of this rut. This transit's going to be really great for that. I think getting like kind of pushing forward and like getting out of your comfort zone, but it also has the potential to be like too much too soon, kind of burnout potential.
Because it being in Pisces, I don't know like a lot about astrology. I feel like I was into it in college for a minute. I was very into like my sign. I didn't really get the full education on it. But it being in Pisces, aren't they? They're very emotional, very empathetic. So it's like a calmer energy that it's been in, right?
It's definitely
Now you're
calmer.
getting into my energy, which is
I have
fire.
I have Pisces somewhere. I think I'm a Pisces moon. I'm a Cancer sun, Pisces moon, rising Leo.
Love.
Wow.
Love Leo energy.
I do
Yeah.
too. But I feel like it's a little what I've heard from someone who was not an astrologer, but my college roommate, is that it's really complicated to be double water and fire.
It is. I think I just described it the other day to someone as like, it's like literally boiling water. It's like that. There is this feeling of like the emotions are like overwhelming.
All
Yeah.
the time, right? I'm always like about to bubble over. I'm always at my end. Wow, that's a great way to describe me. Oh my God. Oh,
Okay.
sorry. Oh, I just felt, I went
She's
to readjust.
boiling over.
I'm boiling over again.
Feeling over.
I want to talk about astrology and pop culture. Like apps, memes, TikTok. Like, how do you feel about astrology becoming so mainstream? Like, is there anything like, I don't know. We've seen astrology even pop up in like dating apps, like now. Like, do you really think that like, do you think you can get information from TikTok on astrology? And like, how much of that information do you think is really valid? Like, do you think that you can find your partner on Tinder based on their sun sign? Like, what do you think about all of that?
I have a lot of feelings about it. I think it's
Cool.
like really a double-edged sword. And because I do think it's giving people a lot more of like an opening into this world of like, wow, I never really considered that before. There are, I think, TikTok astrologers that have a lot of really great information to share. And then there are some who really kind of capture the like pop astrology, like the quick compatibility, kind of knowing how to capture someone and not really give them deep enough information to really use that. So I feel kind of mixed emotions about pop astrology, especially like when it comes to social media, because I find that what it often does is affirm kind of like these biases we have about certain signs or like really lock someone even deeper into an identity about that they have with a sign, like, oh, I can't do this because I'm a Gemini, or like
Right.
this is just the way I am. So it really can have the potential to like lock someone in. And I've seen it, and I've really dealt with this with clients where it really breeds a lot of fear of maybe like they don't really identify, but that they don't believe in astrology because they're like, well, all Geminis are this way or all Scorpios are that way. So I don't really like believe in that. So I think it has like the opportunity to allow people to come into this world, but does a disservice by keeping things really on the surface level. And I think that I see it the most when it comes to compatibility. This is like when I do bigger events, like if I do readings, like kind of quick readings for people who wouldn't normally book a full session with me.
Yeah.
Compatibility comes up a lot of like, who am I most compatible with? And I'm like, everyone. Like everyone is really compatible with everyone, because I think we also use astrology compatibility as a way to like fix or like who is it, right? We want the easy answer, and astrology compatibility feels like an easy answer where it's like, I won't ever date a Taurus, or I won't ever, like, you're able to like narrow down the playing field a little bit, when in reality all charts, like I've mentioned, are so nuanced,
Right.
that we can't really judge someone by their sun sign. We need to see the full picture. I did an event recently at a bachelorette party where I like did the bride and groom's charts together, and people are always like, oh my God, I'm so nervous. Like, we're not meant, there's this fear of like, what if, but ultimately it's a map. It's like a language that we're able to see how do these charts work together? Where are there like clean lines of communication? Where is there resistance and friction? How can I like be aware of these traits that I have, these traits that this other person has, and where we maybe can support each other, or like where do we need space? So it's a different language that we can use to understand ourselves and understand another person. So that's why when people ask me about like compatibility, I'm just like, it's so detailed, it's so nuanced. Unless you're gonna like pull out all the stops and do like a full synastry analysis of you and this person on the app, that would be also crazy, because I also think there's something like of getting to know a person, the vibe beyond their chart. I know that there's a lot of people who are like, I ask for his birth time right away, I pull his chart, and I'm like, girl, just don't do it, just talk to him.
Yeah. Are you dating anyone right now?
Yeah.
And like, was that when you told them that you were an astrologer, were they like, can I please know your sign? What time were you born?
My partner knew I was an astrologer. We had been friends for a very long time, so he knew I was an astrologer before we started dating. He actually knew his sun, moon, and rising sign, like in his head. I was like, wow, that's actually amazing. And then I pulled our charts, and then I followed the advice of many astrologers, which is like, do not look at the chart of the person you're dating, because it is so much my job to like analyze charts, and I have this fear of like over analyzing my partner's chart. So I have my partner's chart, I gently know it. Sometimes I'll look at it, but I try to forget it as much as possible so that I can just like be in a real human relationship with him, other than being like, uh-oh, there's that Venus.
Okay, but like, just wondering, what is his sign?
He's a Taurus.
He's a Taurus. I say that and like, I don't know what that means. Like, I don't know.
You're like, oh yeah.
I'm like, oh wow. I'm like, I don't know what Taurus and Leo mean.
This is the thing. Like, people will be like, I'm a Libra, that's why I'm such, and like, that's why I can't do XYZ, or like, I'm a Taurus, so I'm an asshole, or whatever. It's like, no, like you can't say that. You can't use astrology to like excuse your behavior.
Right. No, people love to do it. They love to be like, I'm really crazy, but can't help it. I'm a Gemini.
Like, sorry, I'm just a crazy little Gemini. Are there any signs though that you're like, you're a little wacky?
Right. Like, is it true about Geminis?
Like,
I feel like
are
Gemini
Scorpios
has the
really like psycho?
Well, it's like the stereotypes we all have for like these signs, like Gemini being crazy, Scorpio being a little, it's like really very much the surface level of the truth. But we kind of try to package it in a way that's like, oh, that's funny. Like, this is like an easy way to identify. Where like I have to do a lot of unpacking for my sweet Geminis of like, let's like get down. You're not crazy. Like let's get down to like what it actually means to be multi-passionate, multifaceted, have a lot of layers, have a lot of interests in a society that is like very linear and wants to like box you in. Let's just like understand why maybe you feel crazy is like you're kind of trying to fit into something that you don't fit into. And my Scorpio, you know, it's often with Gemini and Scorpio that I do a lot of like unwinding of the stereotype because there's just, we really only scratch the surface, and then we like either that stereotype sticks or we feel really at odds with it. And in my work, I try to do a lot of like untangling of these stereotypes so that we feel a lot more spacious within the way that we identify with ourselves and our sign, and like understanding too that there's so many different parts of us. And this is like what I love to tell people is like, you've got your sun, your moon, your rising, your Venus, your Mars, your Mercury. There's so many different parts of you that we can use the chart to be like, okay, how am I like communicating this? Or like, what do I need to feel safe? And it doesn't have to be all one thing. It can be nuanced and layered, and we can like focus on this little part of ourselves without having to bring the baggage of everything else. And we can dissect it in ways that feels manageable and safe and like, oh, I can get a grip on this. And I can also like lean in or lean away when I feel ready to.
Yeah. I have so many because I have so many friends in all different signs, but I tend to gravitate towards Scorpios, Virgos, Cancer, and Aries. Those are like my people.
I feel like I only have Aries in my life right now. Like the 4 closest people that I talk to all week are Aries.
And some of us have, me and her best friend have like the same birthday.
Yeah, like my 2 closest friends have the exact same birthday. But I used to be surrounded by Pisces all the time, and everyone was like, oh, Cancer and Pisces, perfect pair.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I know that you have to go in a minute, but because it's like our New Yorker of the week, and this is a New York podcast, we do have like a very New York astrology question for you. Okay, where'd it go? Okay, if each New York borough had a zodiac sign, which sign would you give each, and why?
Okay, we're doing the borough zodiac. I actually used to have like a list of things that like I would assign zodiac signs to random like places in New York, or like random things that I would see. I'm like, oh, that's such a Libra thing, and I like had a list, and I don't know where that list went. But I know that Bam was a Libra. That's like the top. It was the top of my list. Okay, the borough is a zodiac sign, so we're just gonna go start straight with Manhattan. It's like the Capricorn capital, like. Wow. Capricorn, Manhattan. It's this, I almost wanted to make, or I almost like think of Manhattan sometimes as very Aries, that energy. But Manhattan is like, there's a lot going on, very work-centered, very ambitious, but also very measured and strategic in like the way that it operates, I feel like. So Manhattan's a Capricorn. Okay. I feel like Queens is a Sagittarius, just because of this kind of like worldly quality. There's so much diversity in Queens. There's just like the whole world exists in Queens. Yeah. And Sagittarius is really concerned. That sign really wants to be as a part of as much of the world as possible. And it feels like Sagittarius is a place where you can do and see anything. Brooklyn.
Whoa, this is gonna really hit hard.
I
know. I do think that Brooklyn is a Libra.
Whoa.
Yeah. Because Libra is really like about the vibe and the aesthetic. Like it has to function, but it also has to look good and feel good. But Libra is a similar sign to Capricorn in that they're both cardinals. So they're both going to kind of like initiate and move things forward. And Libra has that kind of like justice quality, like wanting things to be fair and harmonious. And that feels very Brooklyn to me, like kind of keeping balance of things. Yeah.
I love that.
Who else? We have the Bronx.
Yeah.
Bronx
is a borough. Right? Yeah, the Bronx and Staten Island. Okay, to
Dying
me.
for Staten Island.
Okay, then we're gonna keep Staten Island for last.
No, do Bronx.
The Bronx, I feel like actually, I don't know that much about the Bronx, but to me it feels like a Scorpio.
Ooh,
Okay.
cool.
Because there's this, right, Scorpio is like a fixed sign and it's very like, knows itself. It isn't very easily persuaded or moved off one way or the other. To me, the Bronx, and it has really deep roots, right? Scorpio really cares about where it is and like where it's planted and kind of being a part of history. And so to me, the Bronx really has this like deeper emotional quality that's very rooted and very secure and like kind of takes care of itself.
I love that. That's so true about Scorpios. Whenever I like really need like deep advice, I call my Scorpio people.
I don't know any Scorpios in my life.
I'll
I
introduce
need to go
you
to
to
the Bronx.
some. I'll introduce you to some. They're great.
Staten Island feels to me like a Cancer.
That's hard to hear.
Hard to hear. Hard to hear.
I thought she was going to say Aries, and I was like,
You were both at risk.
Oh my God.
for Staten Island.
Okay, I feel like I see where you are going though with the Cancer in Staten Island. It's just hard because of what else is going on.
Well, do you want to tell me why I said that?
I feel like Staten Island is like kind of like family planting roots.
Yeah.
It's also surrounded by water. Like I'm with it. I'm seeing it.
Yeah, that's kind of where I went. I could also like give to me. I was also going to say Pisces. Like Staten Island to me feels very watery, in that that there's like an I don't know. I always think of like family roots in Staten Island.
Yeah.
Like that is why I pulled from the water sign. But I also feel it could be Pisces in that I like don't ever really think about Staten Island. I don't really know what goes on in Staten Island. No, I don't have any like bad feelings about Staten Island. I just feel like similar to the Bronx, who I also named a water sign, they kind of just like are their own self-operating
Entity.
place.
Yeah.
But they're like, I also feel like Staten Island, there's just so much like there's so much love for their family. There's like a lot of, I don't know, people, I don't know anyone
really
from
proud.
Staten
They're
Island.
really
But
proud.
there's like that level of pride that isn't so much
Rich
fire, but it's like love for its people and like where they come from. And it's like,
Staten Island.
I'm moving. You've changed my mind on it. And I just remembered in How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, have you seen that? Like all the romance, all the special moments are with his family on Staten Island.
There you go.
So maybe I was wrong. Maybe I'm moving. Thank you.
Anna, you're the best. This was so fun. I feel like we're at a doctor's appointment and I just don't want it to end. Sorry. I don't know if anyone else.
I love that.
Oh, I'm Jewish. So like every time I go to the doctor, I'm like, let's hang.
Let's hang. Let's get more answers out of this.
Sorry if that.
I love that. I love that because I'm like off to my next patient.
I love it. Anna, plug everything. Like where can
Where can
people
we find
find
you?
you? What can they, how can they book you? What do you like, how do they find you?
Yeah. My website is annahole.com. I have an Instagram as well, Anna__Hull. Someone else had the single underscore, so I had to take 2 underscores. You know how it goes. I have a Substack, which is like really where I do a lot of my content actually, which is annahole.substack.com. I do a weekly newsletter there. A lot of my writing, like horoscopes, is there. You can book a reading with me on my website. I do one-on-one readings, all virtually. I recently caught a little Reddit fame and have been getting a lot of people booking me through Reddit, which has been like cool. So you can also maybe find me on Reddit if you're looking. And yeah, I do one-on-one readings. I do private events for like birthdays and bachelorettes, which are always really fun. And yeah, stay connected. I'm planning to launch some like more in-person events and series in the summer, kind of combining astrology and yoga and writing and being a human in this world. So yeah, that's where to find me.
Cool. Anna, you're the best.
Thank you so much. This was so great.
This was so cool. I love this. If you ever just want to, tap in and let us know how the earth is doing, let us feel
Absolutely.
free to.
I'd love to come back again and talk astrology, talk compatibility, talk about it all. Talk about the stars.
Works for us. Welcome whenever.
Literally. All right. Well, thank you so much to Sean Curley. Video, intro, outro, etc.
The best, everything.
And thank you, Anna, for joining us. We love you.